If you're a Marvel fan, then Dice Throne might be the game for you. But which of these characters is the best fit? We'll go over each of them today on Legendary Tactics.
We'd like to thank the Op Games for not only supporting our channel by sponsoring this video, but also providing a review copy of this game.
So this is a 4-pack that includes Storm, Wolverine, Psylocke, and Iceman, and they all have their own unique flavor, and they feel a little bit different. So for those of you who haven't played Dice Throne before, to give you a sense, you have your special ability tokens, your health meter, your combat points, which is essentially your currency in the game. There's a deck, which is flavored to who your character is. And then each of these abilities on your deck, this is on your playmat, these are your base abilities, and you can upgrade those throughout the game to try to inflict more damage. The game comes down to a sort of Yahtzee-esque feel, where you roll and you say, ooh, I like these 3, I'm going to keep those, and then I'll re-roll these twice, and we'll go for a combo that triggers one of these abilities. And it's just a beat-em-up game. I'm trying to smash these 2 skulls in, and... That's about it. So why don't we start with Psylocke to begin. Psylocke is an interesting character who gets an extra die here. This is the manifest die. So on her turn, she's rolling this, putting it over here, and she can use this die either to add more damage, or to increase my damage, or to replace a die used during my offensive roll phase. So sort of a way to amplify your opportunity to get the combos that you're looking for there. I would say generally she's a character who doesn't inflict quite as much damage as some of the others. She's 11 on her super here, which is essentially
I'm 13.
Your Yahtzee. You get 13, you get 12.
I get 12, yep.
Yeah, so she's a little bit lower on that.
Wolverine.
But she also has the ability to, some of these, she has, as you notice here, more abilities. So whereas you only have Rage and Alpha,
Yep.
she has 4 different abilities. So Paralyze is a status effect that I can apply so that people can't get or inflict a status effect. So I would want to apply this to you so that you couldn't inflict your dice cube on me there. Agility is something where if I receive damage, then I can prevent some of that damage, so I just sort of dodge. She's a good defensive player. I can frustrate you when you can't get your attacks through. And then Infiltration is one where I can, on a defensive roll, I can make someone else re-roll their defensive die, or I can re-roll my defensive die. So that I would say, if you're a player who likes somebody who's kind of tricky and defensive and sneaky, actually I think this might be a decent character for your play style, because that is sort of like you.
No, that's interesting.
But tell us about Iceman.
Iceman. So Iceman is, I guess, not the strongest character in terms of attacks, but has the ability to do multiple attacks.
He glides from one to the next.
The Dice Cube effect basically blocks like a reroll by an opponent of their lowest die, but the real, where the rubber really meets the road is these Ice Shard tokens, which in some cases can be gained right to their board, but in other cases go to the freezer first.
Like a storage.
Like a storage. It's
Interesting.
You have to almost cycle it through to get it charged
cycle
up.
it through to get here. So once you have 5 ice shards, you can use the ice shard ability, and you can get a glide. Now what a glide does is, if I roll a combo, and let's say I have, I get this, everybody chill. It is the most punny of all the boards.
Oh, I do like the ice to meet you.
Ice to meet you.
That's one of my favorites.
Cold treat and stuff like that.
It's fun to say those things as you attack them.
Yes, of course. So that's why.
Absolutely.
So if I rolled everybody chill and I had a glide, I can play this to do this ability and do the damage, whatever, and then also do the next one. You have follow these arrows around
to the same player.
To the same player.
So you could
without
really unload.
having to roll this requirement. So
Right.
you can kind of have a double attack basically if you get everything lined up.
It's powerful late game where someone thinks they're going to live and suddenly you hit them with a double whammy.
Yeah, exactly. And then other than that, like there's, a lot of it is sort of, the rolls involve kind of moving the ice shards around and so forth. But overall, kind of a neat, it's just one of those kind of interesting characters where I think the theme gels with the gameplay in a kind of an interesting way. So,
Absolutely.
Cool.
That's Iceman.
So we move along to Wolverine here, and Wolverine's pretty straightforward. He is a beat him up and heal himself up kind of character.
He's the lowest complexity too, I
Yeah,
believe.
yeah.
We got a 3 here, a 2 there. What's your complexity?
Where do you find that?
So on the back, these cards are nice because they've got, this is what you're actually playing with. This is more rules, clarifications, and setup. So at the start here, it'll say he's a level 4.
Okay.
And I believe
Difficulty
she's a level 4.
four
So
as well, yeah.
these two are the harder of the two to learn.
Yeah.
If you're a brand new player to this game, then Wolverine's the way to
You're
go.
going to want to start with Wolverine. He is very straightforward. He's got the like heavy attacks, and he does have heal options as well, which I don't think either of your characters have over there.
Not really,
They
no.
don't
Not as
really
much,
heal
no.
up. So that's one neat thing. Another neat thing he does have are these rage tokens. So you can earn rage tokens through different of the abilities that you choose, and they will attack. They will deal 3 extra damage.
That comes at a cost, though. You have to spend a card.
You have to drop a card for it. Yeah,
So,
yeah.
so you have to have good card cycling with Wolverine to make that power work.
That's true too, and he also has the Alpha ability, which will, when you play on someone, if they can't get out of the trap, it's basically you don't get your combat points for that turn when it comes to you. So
That's
he
right.
has a way of kind of slowing down if you can trigger the Alpha. He also has a bit of the. I think we each have our vengeance rolls though as well,
We
which is the
do.
defensive bit.
Yours is interesting, though, because ours sort of charge up some of our abilities, whereas yours tends to inflict damage.
Mine will give us damage back. I believe your character Iceman has also the damage ability too, right?
Yeah, to block damage.
To
or
block
whatever?
or give damage.
Yes.
Yeah,
On
you're
the
a bit
defensive roll.
balanced. You
Yeah,
can do both.
unbalanced. Yep.
That's nice.
Right. So, but I know Wolverine's a very fun one to play. I really enjoy playing Wolverine, and it was a neat experience with this.
And thematically, when you buy this kit, probably everybody's buying it for Wolverine.
Yeah, really, yeah, probably.
I would imagine. I know I played this with my kids, and that's the first
Yeah.
one they go to, right? They're like, who's Psylocke?
Yeah.
Wolverine.
Yeah, everybody knows Wolverine.
Yes.
So that brings us, that was everything for Wolverine.
Yeah.
Luckily, we didn't face the Berserker's Rage when we played.
Oh,
against
that was
him.
actually the last one I did want to mention, and that's a neat ability because you heal 3 if you can pull it off. It's the Yahtzee, but if you can pull off that the 5 masks, then you also get to deal 12 damage.
Yeah.
Divvied up as you want.
Oh,
That's right.
So if your opponents are getting
nice.
low and you can maybe knock 2 out at once, or even potentially 3,
Yeah. Wow.
that Yahtzee might be worth.
That's a game
worthwhile.
winner in
Yeah.
that circumstance.
It may seem like it's a 1 in 6 odds of hitting the Wolverine mask, but because of the deck, you've
Yeah.
got cards that manipulate the dice. If you save up some money, then
For
you
example,
can
this one right here.
hit these targets.
Change the values of any 2 die, so I can actually just flip that. So if you can get,
Yeah.
if you only need 4 out of the, 3 out of the 5, then
Yes.
you
That's
can,
right. And some of his cards have to do with rage, where you spend a rage, but if you burn a particular card, then you get that rage back. So
That's right.
There's a
cycling.
symbiosis in your
There's a bit of a
card deck.
cycling mechanic there. I also do like the upgrade abilities. So you have in the deck you'll have cards like my adamantium claws regular, but then you can have this.
But that's free.
That one's a free upgrade.
Free
Yeah.
upgrade, which
Some
is
of
great because I don't think I
Wow.
have a free upgrade.
Some of them. So
Yeah, I
if
did
you look
the
at Severe
double
Threat
check
2.
Yeah.
That one does cost 2 CP, right?
Yes.
But then
Yeah.
of course it will ramp up your abilities when you play them. So that is a really neat mechanic that they've added in.
That's right. And when
each
you
of the
layer
characters.
those on it just gives you added bonuses for
Right.
that particular attack. So
That's right.
So you can try to build your board up strategically so that when you attack, it's a little more fierce.
A little more powerful. Yep.
Or you can wait and save combos to try to unload.
Right.
So that brings us to our final character then, and that's Storm. We saved this one to the last. She's one of the more complicated ones, but I wouldn't say overly complicated. I found her not too bad to play. Her basic ability, these lightning tokens, can be charged. So there's various events that will trigger the lightning, but when they're placed onto her abilities, you'll get your main effect plus the charged effect, and then you have to spend this to trigger the charged effect. So it's just sort of an added value that she gets there. In terms of the cards, you got some.
I see a lot of tornado cards flash.
Yeah, very much
Yeah.
so. So she's got there's the lightning charge, there's the tornado, which is when you spend this as part of an offensive roll, you get the other people's die. So I could spend 3 of those and then add this to my rolls. That's going to help me when I'm trying to get the smaller large straight, because your symbols don't help me, unfortunately,
Yeah.
but your numbers do.
Yes.
So that could be to my benefit.
Yeah, I
that
like how
way.
the die have double rolls. You can roll for straights or 3 of a kind, 4 of a kind, that kind of thing. So
For sure.
Neat.
And also, so the wind shear is another cool. So you'll earn that onto here, and then I can apply that. And that's essentially someone zaps me with something, and I whip up a tornado, and then I redirect it. And so I prevent 2 damage, and I also shoot 2 damage, and I can choose who I direct that to. So you may hit me, but then I redirect it to So Storm is a really interesting character once you charge some of these abilities up.
Yeah, and one really neat thing is her ultimate, because of the amount of damage it can actually eventually do. It can do up to, I believe, 14 damage.
Yeah, that's right. Especially if it's charged and you get 2 extra damage.
Yeah.
Right, so it's 12 at a minimum and then up to 14. So that is
And it
pretty,
does some charging too.
right. So pretty powerful super there.
Absolutely. So let us know which of these characters you think is the best, or which one you would choose if you were playing. And in the meantime, get out there.
Get gaming
And be legendary.